back in the room.
Hello.
And there we are. Hopefully this week, Philippa's internet will last the test of time, because
it was just knackered. We'd been on 2 hours. I think it just went, stop
I'm done
now. Just
pack
it in.
And we learned the hard way what happens when Philippa's internet goes away and we haven't got access to the back end of the StreamYard. What happens is the stream just keeps going.
I can't believe it does that.
Get out.
We were stuck in a web of the internet, the World Wide Web. We were stuck in a web.
We
would have been there.
House of Usher. We were stuck in a web.
We'd have been there forever.
What to do.
Days, months we would have been there.
It could have been worse. It could have, we didn't realise to start with, me and Kat, that we were still live. Can you imagine? We could have said start.
I mean, even more inveterate filth than we usually do. With that being said, shall I do the thing?
Do the thing.
Hello, friends. It's just gone 8:15. Welcome to History After Dark. We called it that for multiple reasons. Principal among them is that on our other platforms, we are veritable paragons of grace, decorum, and ladylike demeanour. Here is where we let our freak flags fly. This is the location where we will devour some 4-letter expletives. Yum, yum, yum. We love them. They are delicious. It's where we will partake in the sharing of innuendo, where we will delve into filth, merriment, and general vulgarity. So if you are in an open plan office with a judgmental boss, please put a headphone in. If you happen to be in a kitchen, living room, pantry, hellscape with a small child, we call this child Timmy. I've not got my merch with me. Flap your merch out. Come on, flash us. There we go. Timmy is a problem, as you can see there. Timmy's the sort of child that hears one thing one time, locks it away in his mind palace, takes it into school with him, repeats it. He does it in front of Miss Honey. Miss Honey is pure as the driven, and she, of course, does not watch History After Dark, because she doesn't know the first cardinal rule of History After Dark, which is, if you don't know what it means, it's not for you. Don't Google it. So she Googles it. Now she knows what this horrible thing is. She is traumatized. You get called at school. You've got to explain why Timmy knows this thing. And also, now you are paying for 12 weeks of therapy because Miss Honey is in the fetal position, unable to speak, and she needs to be rewired. You can also watch us on the playback here on YouTube. It is, though, worth watching us live, because on one occasion we did say something that was so unspeakably borderline illegally depraved that we had to yeet that footage directly into the molten hot magma of the sun. That hasn't happened for months, which in my head means one of three things. Either we have got way better, unlikely, or we are due another snafu, quite possible. Most likely, I feel, is that we have become so used to each other, and also so many of you have become so used to us, that now the bar of decorum is in hell. And we have been saying things this entire time that 6 months ago we would have yeeted. So buckle up, Buttercup. We'll see what's happening. We hope that you're all adults. Catherine's bio is there. Go to bed, Lucas. Love you. With you all being adults, that means that you can presumably drink. I'm not going to tell you how to protect your renal function. However, this will never be an approved drinking game by any of the three of us. We will never either be giving you medical nor legal advice. So don't sue. Thusly, I have completed this beautiful, bespoke, handcrafted latex disclaimer.
Wipe clean.
It's a wipe clean disclaimer. If at any point any of you should come into our comments, either here or on our personal social media, and feel the need to share with us that you really enjoy history on History After Dark, but you wish we didn't swear so much, it's not ladylike, primarily, principally, and expeditiously, fuck off. But also, without going any further than that, I know what you're doing. We all agree. The three of us have talked about it at length. What you want for us to pin one of those comments so that everybody else in the comments can come along and shame you in a ritual way because you want to be humiliated. And that's a kink, babe. And I'm fine with a kink. I'm never going to kink shame you. But here's the dealio. If you want some BDSM torture dungeon shit. There are places you can go to that. There is, in fact, a place called Torture Garden where you will meet many a lovely, buxom wench who will nibble on your tool and also probably put a cigarette out up your bumhole if you so wish, all the while calling you the scum of the earth. If that's what you want, babe, pay the money and go and seek someone out with who consents to it, because kink without consent is not the one. Welcome.
You said the bar might have dropped. I think
It's only going to get worse, ladies. I'm only going to get more depraved. You pulled the pin on the filth grenade, and the smartness is going to flow out of me.
I like how it's our fault. Do you know what I mean, Philippa? That's an our fault.
I don't know how it's an hour thing.
Shano,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
In 100 years.
At the beginning.
The three of us might be deemed history heroes as well. It could go either way.
With some of the people in the world around us now, we are possibly the best hope, which tells you everything you need to know about the state of humanity right now.
Yeah, we might equally become the future, that kind of ethical dilemma, the Hitler and the Cradle question.
Would you have stopped this before we started?
Yeah, if you had the chance to go back in time and smother them in the crib, would you? I'll fight you. I was a fighty baby.
I think there might be people that I fall into that category with anyway, but it's got nothing to do with had.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
I need a tag. I haven't got a tag. I'll have to think of something.
Filth. Do some filth. What's the situation? We are doing a history news roundup. So,
can you remember what order we did them?
It would have been alphabetically.
Well, our alphabet went a little bit off the bat.
Right.
I made myself laugh. Do you want me to have a look?
No, doesn't matter. We'll just do them in whatever
Newton,
order.
Jenna, Brunel, Lovelace.
That's the way I'd remembered them too.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
that's
do that
fine
then.
We'll do that then. Yeah.
Right.
So would you like a little bit of
Oh, there we go. Look at him.
That is luscious hair. Well done, him.
Well, do you think he uses hair oiling and a bonnet as we were discussing?
Probably. I think almost certainly. Philippa, what's the
how we're
scoring this? How do we do it?
Oh yes, of course.
Tell us the rules of engagement, please.
Yeah. So we're going to score our 4 candidates for History Hero tonight. They are scored on the basis of character, importance, the positivity of their legacy, and their agency in their legacy, basically. So character, importance, and positivity of legacy is the undemocratic, slightly I mean, there's 3 of us, but basically we get to score them on that. And then we go to everyone watching who can score. Basically, it's a binary decision. Do they have agency? Do they not? And they'll get a score of 0 or 10, decided by the fact that whether the yeses have it or the noes have it. So that's 10 points. The other, and they get basically a total of 100. So the other 90 points come from the fact that each of us gets up to 10 points to give them per category. So does that make sense? So for their character, we each get to score them up to 10. So that would take a total up to 30. For their importance, same. Positivity, legacy, same. That gives an overall score of 100. And then they get plugged into into our league table. And this is this is where our league table is at the moment. Can you see that? So that's them in order that we've done them. And this is them in order of the scoring. So Alfred the Great is up there on 93. Great. He's pretty great.
He is.
Yeah. William Marshall. The Marshall, still my fave. Equality Brown, followed by Charles Darwin, then Florence Nightingale. Boudica is number 6. Anna of Cleves is number 7, and Princess Charlotte following up the rear in 8 before we get on to this week's. Anyway, so there you are.
So Icy baby.
Ice baby.
Ice baby.
I have an Isaac. That's his nickname.
In that painting, he just looks like it's kind of like, oh, for fuck's sake, sort of expression, isn't it? Like, I'm
It's
just
solid
tired
side
of
eye.
this
I enjoy it.
now.
He got stuff to do, hadn't he? Really, he's got bigger things to think about.
Maybe cross with navigating the micro fringe. He's like, this will not be.
Yeah, it's got micro fringe.
For
Yeah,
another few centuries. Why have we done this?
Either that, or he tried to give himself bangs and it went horribly wrong.
Yes,
that'll be
He
it.
was being quarantined during the plague, like the actual plague. In them
yeah,
days.
yeah. He cut his own hair.
Oh,
He was trying to. He's given himself a lob. He's not keen. And he's done a micro fringe because he did this. He put his eyebrows up and he twisted it, and then he went like that. He went, well, that's now, and he
down. And it sprang back. Yeah.
We've all done it. We've all done it. So, first thing first.
What was it?
Character. I have got no. Sorry, I've got no idea what I did with my notes about him. So this is all going to be from memory, which is not a good thing.
Did you get into a couple of like? Am I thinking of the right person? Because I haven't got mine either. Sometimes get a little bit into a ding dong with other people.
He did. But what I will say, it was 6-1 after the other, and there was saying he plagiarised him when he almost certainly didn't.
There were a lot of egos in the scientific fraternity at this time.
At this time? Only at this time?
No, definitely at this time.
There's a lot of ego. He was, though, nice to his niece.
Yeah.
And pretty much let her get on with it. He probably is one of those person that if challenged, he could have had a more peaceful life and a more peaceful existence if he just hadn't felt the need to defend his honor. Although I understand the impetus, I don't necessarily know if it's a character flaw. If someone comes at you with accusations,
you've got to fight back, haven't you? They started it.
Yeah, they started it.
They started it. Finish it.
There you go. Pretty Pick says, to be fair, it also seems like he didn't start anything. Exactly.
That's certainly how it is presented. Although one wonders, he is the more famous and potentially the more popular. So are we missing out the stuff where he poked the bear? I don't know.
Also, not that this is a flaw, but compared to someone who was actively contributing to society in terms of social issues or anything like that, that's not him. He's in his lane, he's doing his thing. I mean, he did contribute, of course, a lot. Where would we be without that ball swinging thing that he Newton cradle? That's it.
Okay, so character wise,
we're back to that basement in Brighton again, aren't we?
Ball swingers.
Yes.
Ball swingers. I'm gonna go 8.
Oh,
okay, quite high.
Like not a bell end, so probably all right, but I'm taking off 2 points on account of the fact that there's probably some things that he could have left alone and just ignored.
Leave it. Like if we were in a bar, you'd have to leave it.
Like,
leave it.
Walk away.
Also, because he was like, he probably got like weak little asthmatic lungs on account of him being born horrendously premature.
Yeah.
I'd be like, if I was in a bar with Isaac Newton, I'd be like, look, Isaac, you're 3 beers down. You are a lightweight. In my head, he's a lightweight. And you are lipping off. I know he started it, but let's be honest, you aren't going to finish it. Muggins is going to have to.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he probably got his mates. He got his mates into some fights, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost certainly.
Amanda
says, Newton.
Amanda says, didn't he supposedly invent the cat flap too? Got sick of opening the door for the cat while he was working.
Is that true?
I hope so.
If so, that's brilliant.
I'm going to give him a 7.
I'm going to give him a
7. because kind of like what you guys were saying, but also I'm going a tiny bit less because judging by the look on his face, he could probably be a little bit of an irritating bellend if he just got out the wrong side of the bed one day. You come in, you bought him a cup of tea. I mean, that would piss me off to start with. But if you bought someone a cup of tea and he's be like, I wasn't ready for that because he's got out of bed the wrong side. So I just have to feel there's an edge. There's an edge of being a bit of a cock like that. So that's why
he's got 2 portraits in the whole of his life, and you're going to take the facial expression on one.
But that's no different than saying he looks like he'd be a bit shit in a bar. I reckon he's got asthmatic lungs.
No, that's based on the fact that he's supposed to be like really, really premature.
At the time before steroid to start a fight in a bar. You don't know that.
The man could start a fight in a paper bag with somebody 60 miles away. He could absolutely start a fight in a bar.
Then he could start a fight over a cup of tea at the breakfast table, couldn't he?
Probably. What, so you giving him 7? What are you going, Philippa?
Right. I'm gonna go 8 as well. Okay. So important.
I think he'd be entertaining company.
No, I think he'd be as boring as hell.
Oh, I don't know. You could probably have a good bitch with him, couldn't you?
Oh, well, maybe, but you'd have to know what he was talking about to understand why he was bitching about someone, and I'd be lost.
I think, in terms of importance, it's for understanding our world the way it works, and so much of the technology that we use to explore our world. His importance is got to be, for me, it's got to be right up there in terms of like synthesizing all those things, all of the stuff he lays out. It's got to be, he's probably got to be a 10 for me.
I think he has to be a 10. It's just too significant, his work. Catherine, have you gone 10 as well? Okay. And the positivity of his legacy.
See, while the stuff is really important, it kind of, in terms of its like moral weight, ethical weight, it's sort of neutral, right?
It's very,
it's not negative, but it also isn't, saving polar bears that I know of.
No.
So
I mean, we know how a rainbow works.
True.
And lots of people use a rainbow.
It's not quite the same as creating the iron lung, though, is it? It's not.
Not quite. But maybe he led to other things from his.
Yeah. In an iron lung, seeing a rainbow might cheer you up.
Yeah. And if you don't have to get up for the cat flap, but to let the cat out, that's a big
that is true.
Bonus.
I mean, while we understand the rainbow, he didn't invent the rainbow. That was Skittles.
No, they just told us what it tasted like.
That's true. That's true.
I don't want to know what it tastes like.
Skittles, babe. That's what it tastes like.
I don't like Skittles.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't.
I don't know that they make my teeth feel like really claggy.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
I like sweet stuff, but that's a bit much, isn't it? It's just chewy sugar with artificial colours in it.
You've described sweeties. You've just described sweeties. That's what you've done there. It's chewy sugar. That is the point.
They're a bit extra, aren't they? They are. I don't like them.
Anyway. Yeah, you're right. It's a bit sort of, but
like what we can say,
really
how
high.
important is Isaac Newton's science? Really important.
Yeah.
If I said to you, how many lives are made better because of his work, that becomes slightly.
I would have to understand the application of his work, which I don't have on the top of my head.
And maybe that's why I'm kind of going. Well, I'm more neutral about it because perhaps it's my own failing of not really understanding what's going on. And
it's got to be high. It's got to be really high.
He makes me feel stupid, so that's losing marks for him. My ego is fragile, and he's damaged it, so losing marks. Julesie's just quoted Sugar Pigs. I'm not sure if he's talking about Percy Pigs from Marks and Spencer's, or if this is something you might find in the basement in Brighton. What's a sugar pig? Sounds dirty.
I think it's got to be quite high, because even if we don't necessarily understand everything he explained, that knowledge will then be used to apply, understand, develop millions of other things.
Yeah.
I would imagine most of which have been beneficial, but maybe not all. But we don't know which and what percentages there are, so it's hard to say. I'm saying 8.
Okay, right.
Presumably,
yeah, I think I'm going to go 8. Actually,
some of the science that he explains is one of the reasons why they figure out you need to rifle gun barrels. That would probably be a reason, and so rifled bullets, the accuracy improves. It's like that thing is that, you know, because of the laws of motion that he puts into place, they have great functions like don't fall out of a second-story window. It's going to really fucking hurt. If you're going to do a plane jump, have a parachute, etc. But equally, that understanding of motion
on the ocean
is also using weaponry.
Yeah, but then if people didn't shoot each other, they just stay there heading with a rock. I think if someone's going to be a dickhead and start a war, you could say that, but
I'm gonna go 8-2.
Okay. Right then, it's 2 agency.
So how involved is he in his own legacy? This, friends, is where you start voting, and it's where I try and make up a jingle. So we're going to put, for 30 seconds, I'm going to babble away like a fool.
Oh, Philippa, are you doing yeses?
You're going to put a yes or a no in the comments, and whatever wins, that's where the points go. Right, so let's start. What's his legacy? Is he involved in it? Does he make the story up, or is it all an accident? Let us know what you think of little Isaac Newton. He did some stuff with coins that was really pretty cool. He likes apples as well. He sat underneath the tree. Put a Y or N in the comments down below so we can know what you think. Is he part of his own legacy? Let us know. And that is the end of the time. Boom.
Very good. Well, the yeses have it anyway. So
yeah.
I see that. I can definitely see that. I concur.
Yeah.
I mean concurrence.
Indeed.
And accordance.
Also myself.
And accordion.
Why is it all still winter, by the way?
Oh, I don't know. But it's
Please
really getting on my nerves.
Warming. I don't want to hit, you know.
It's so cold.
Jackie, I don't think there's any evidence of him actually fisticuffing. That was my extrapolation. I don't think he actually gave anybody a knuckle sandwich. But he did have a tanty.
Well, either way, good line of that face just says I'm just over your nonsense, doesn't it?
Do you know what? It's the slight kind of curl of the lip that makes one think that he's got a nasty sandwich.
He's got the pout down.
It's a lip flip. It's that kind of slightly furrowed brow being like, to me, what comes out of that mouth after that look is, do you want to try that again? Or I don't think you mean what you think you mean.
What do you mean?
Or words that we just don't understand.
Yeah.
It's too clever.
Certainly.
This looks like a face that's thinking, somehow by being in your presence, I feel my IQ dropping.
I think I might give that look occasionally. Not that my IQ is as high as his, but
that's how I know what it looks like, because I do that look. I'm like,
it's a disdain. Yeah.
So when you learn to control your mouth, but your face says it anyway.
Oh,
totally. Bloody hell.
Faux show.
Right.
What's happening now? Look at him.
When are we doing
on the roundup weeks? We don't do the interludes, do we? Normally.
Oh man, I've got a good word.
Do you want to do it now, or do you want to do it after Jenna?
I'm pretty sure I'm looking at the roundup from the 10th of April.
No,
and
I don't think we do, but I've only just
do a word of the week. Can you save it? Can you keep your powder dry? Or do you want to do it, babe? It's fine.
Are you doing the Newton pout? She's doing the Newton pout.
I feel bad because I actually went, Catherine, have you got a word of the week? And then I was
Yeah,
like,
see?
don't
Lined
do a
her
word
up
of the
for
week
it.
in a roundup. I do feel like a
tease.
peanuts. I apologise. Do you want to do it, babe?
Well, no, because nobody else wants my word now.
I
so
want
I
your
should
word.
keep it.
Get your word out. Let your word out your flats. Come on, let's have a look. Flap and gums. Let's see.
Right, my word, actually, this is one that does describe cat.
You cheeky bitch. Be careful.
It's a Morgan muffle.
I like it. It's probably true.
Morgan muffle.
Probably true.
Yeah, Steve, your
A
word.
Morgan muffle.
Word. Morgan muffle.
Word of the week. Do. Word of the week. Do. A Morgan muffle.
A Morgan muffle.
Not to do with her condition, is it?
No.
Is it somebody who people erroneously believe is not a vulgar little fuckface, but is secretly a vulgar little fuckface?
I don't think anybody believes that you are not that. That's where that's going.
She's brave because she's all the way in Luga Baruga and she thinks I won't come and get her, but I will. And I'll bring tea to do it.
Tea and cucumber sandwiches.
Oh
yeah. Are you like a cat? You're like cats when they see cucumber and they spring.
Yes.
To the ceiling. Is that you?
Yes.
Mm.
Although, to be fair, you were just stood there minding your own business, having something to eat, and somebody threw a cucumber at you. I'd imagine you'd probably jump as well.
If they threw it at me, they'd be in trouble.
I wonder if Jackie's correct. Someone who'll back up their words with their fists, because I will.
No. Very not like that. Very not like that. In fact, in some ways, it's almost the opposite. It's not wanting to do anything energetic, like
a lazy bastard.
Yes. Well, no. This a Morgan muffle could be a lazy bastard, but they aren't necessarily.
A Morgan muffle.
Oh, MJ's close. Nadia says German helps with this one.
What does it? Oh, Morgan as in morning. So quiet in the morning, takes a while to wake up.
A Morgan muffle is a German word describing a person who is grumpy in the mornings and doesn't like to wake up early.
I mean, that's
Morgan
true.
muffle.
Everyone in my house except me is a Morgan muffle. Unless it's Lucas and he gets to wake up on his own. But yeah, Morgan muffle. If it helps to remember, if you want to remember it and you can't, it's got the word muff in it, if that helps.
Always.
Love a bit of muff. Right. So shall we talk about Edward Jenner and his little prick?
There he is. There he is. In
prick out. There we are.
Hello, Vicky. Hello, Vicky's in the comments. It's me. She is, in fact, a Morgan muffle. Yes.
Tag muffle, someone who's unhappy all day then. Yes.
Yeah.
David, that's my laugh. David lies. David, I think you'll find that is quite
find you a miserable bastard until 12.
You're awake.
An alarm set.
You're livid about it. You might be up, babe, but you are furious, George.
This is why I have to get out and do a dog walk or something.
Oh.
Well, I have to get up and get everybody else ready. Fetch the violins.
That's the joy. That's the morning joy that we know and love from Catherine. I've got to get up and get everyone else ready. She's like a song. She's like a lark in the morning. She's full of the joys of spring.
Yeah,
leaving you guys angry messages as I make breakfast at 7:15.
Yeah, with all the rustling in the background, can't hear you. Anyway,
I wake up to those messages. The Morgan muffle you see is because I've heard your messages, and I'm like, I'm fucking furious on your behalf.
That you've had to get up and make the sandwiches. And
so then I respond, and I'm like, well, I'm now livid because you are. I've got a contact rage. That's what's happened.
Secondhand rage.
I'm having a snoozle.
Oh,
right.
Edward Jenner.
Character.
Ooh.
Did experiment on children. Don't love that for him.
Yes, but remember the actual backstory to that. There's more. There's context to that. This child was going to get the immunization anyway, of which he had when he was a child, and he had been damaged by it. So this child was going to get that anyway, and he knew that cowpox was less severe and therefore but could give the child immunity to, or suspected it could give immunity to, the smallpox. So yes, he was experimenting, that is true, but he was it's not in the context of there being nothing else that was going to kind of happen to this child anyway.
Yeah, and smallpox was very bad.
The smallpox was so bad that we had to put a warning on when we did it about the photos coming up, and then I accidentally showed one at the end anyway. It's horrendous.
Trigger warning.
So I used to like that used to really bother me until I found out the context. I was like, it's not as out there as it first appears if you don't know what else.
I mean, I definitely take your point. I don't love it, but I can temper my kind of.
Also, I hate to do he was a man of his time, but back in the old days, then they didn't think about things in the same way that we do.
They never experiment on people now.
No,
but back then.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: they weren't experimenting on the rich, were they?
Well, no,
they weren't. They weren't doing this. They weren't doing this revolutionary treatment first time around on the sons and daughters of kings and queens, were they?
Quite early on.
They were getting variolated.
I was going to say,
that was quite early on, and of course it had to be on a child because for quite a while before this they had been getting this vaccination. Is that what they called it then? The immunization, whatever, the one that the way they did it beforehand, where they gave live smallpox. That was what they were giving them, live smallpox.
Yeah,
that was how they were doing it prior to.
If you survived it and managed to get immunity, then you were probably all right. So you weren't really a candidate for this.
No, but you couldn't be, could you? He couldn't test whether you were getting an immune response via his method if you'd already had gone through that, or you'd already caught smallpox. So yeah, exactly. So it had to be a child. He did go on, and it was as a child in his local area, and he did go on to do free clinics providing these immunizations to all of the poor working class, whatever, in his area.
And I think his motivations were good, if that helps.
By the accounts that we've seen as well, he doesn't seem to have been an arsehole.
And he's credited with saving more lives than practically any other human being.
Yeah. Good to his friends, good to his family.
Good to his neighborhood.
Yes. I'm going to, you know what? It's going to be fairly high again. I am still going to take off points for the experimenting on kids. I definitely understand. why it's okay. But it's the reason why it's not going to be a 10, and that is because he's doing it to kids.
It's a shame we don't have an account of James Phipps himself, isn't it? It's a shame, really. That would be nice.
That'd be amazing.
I'm going to go 8.
Okay.
I'm saying 9.
Yeah, I'm going 9. Importance.
I mean, while he's not the only person involved in the chain of this, he's not the originator of this stuff, and he's the fact that his focus on vaccination for smallpox, we have a disease that was eradicated because of the vaccine program, a disease that was just. I'm very glad smallpox is not in the world today. Don't let the ice caps melt, please. I don't want there to be more smallpox. It looks.
Don't go trying to.
Don't try
experiment with it now.
Leave it alone. Don't fucking let it. Stop it. 10. It's got to be a 10, baby.
Yeah, I think it has to be a 10. Catherine?
Yes.
Okay. Positivity of legacy.
Oh.
For me, it's got to be a 10. even with the child experimentation, the eradication of his part in the eradication of smallpox, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve, don't lick the smallpox. Don't do it.
No, don't lick it. Don't
put your
don't.
tongue on the smallpox.
If you've got it in the freezer, fucking leave it there.
Yeah, it doesn't
Don't be
taste
bringing it
good,
out and trying shit with it.
will make your eyeballs fall out. Don't do it.
You
Yeah.
don't need.
Now you guys are both going 10. I'm going 9.
Okay.
The only reason I'm taking one off is because when you do something fabulous, that idea, technology, science, whatever it is always going to give other people the opportunity to be absolute bellends.
That's a very good point.
And particularly more
Very
recently, someone has used this to be a load of absolute bellends. So he's very fabulous in this himself. We've got to think of it mostly as him. And I guess you could argue that it wasn't his fault. However, we do have to look at this in a wider picture. So
Okay. You've changed my mind, and I'm taking mine down to 9 too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, yay him on the whole, obviously. But
and I think also, if people actually followed his legacy, because for me the issue around modern day stuff is the removal of autonomy. I find that a slippery slope. That's certainly not what Jenna.
No, and of course that came up.
up.
Yeah, that came up as an issue pretty quickly once that was the way that the government went or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that conversely leads to people not getting vaccinated when they should, etc., etc. So it kind of backfires. It's not a good idea.
The second that anybody tries to impose or mandate something that people can rebel against, there's always going to be pushback. There's always going to be pushback. And people like to feel, and people have the right to feel, that they have control and autonomy over their medical decisions and what happens to their bodies.
I agree.
Because for me, that is a hard line in the sand. It should never be eroded. And that's not what Jenna's asking for.
Occasionally, though, people like to think that they want that for them, but they think that other people shouldn't have that because they think that it's more important. Anyway, I'm just getting a bit bitter and twisted on my today. Let's move on.
Shall we go for agency then? How much did he have agency over his legacy?
Yes. So we're going to do a song, and we're going to start with...
I'll do Wise.
His name was Eddie J. How much control did he have over how we view him today? Is he thinking about the future of his name? Does he really care that much? Is he making choices about it? Is he looking to us to say, do you love me or not? Am I your favourite guy? Do you thank Eddie, baby? Tell me what you think with a Y or N. Tell me how you love me. Did I make a choice that makes you love me loads? I'm a lovely guy, or am I? The end. The end.
The end. We only had one no. I'm interested in why the no was a no.
I can see the no. Actually, I can see
another no.
I can see the justification for the no, because he was very in the moment. So
yeah, if he really cared that much, wouldn't he potentially have tried to monetize it? If he actually cared about leaving a legacy behind.
Yeah, it was just it almost comes across as he hadn't he was so involved in doing it in the moment that he would have hoped, I imagine, that it would. Well, I mean, could he even have imagined that smallpox could be eradicated worldwide? Could that even have been something that crossed his mind? I don't know. But anyway, that's why, yeah.
Yeah, I think Steve sort of, while they'd certainly been experimenting on children and the poor prior to this, the efficacy of what Jenna does legitimizes, I think, that experimentation in a way that perhaps we should be more uncomfortable with, even though in this case it had a good effect, even though the child was going to be variolated, which is more risky.
Yeah, way more risky.
In some ways, the success of this experimentation on a child arguably legitimizes some pretty heinous arguments for experimenting on people who do not have volition to be experimented upon.
That's continued, but yeah, okay. So shall we move on to the next one? The man with the hat and the chains
Look at that
and the
stovepipe.
cigar. I mean,
Him, big lad.
He has.
That, Steve, that is where my mind went. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, he has. So anyway, IKB, he has the style down. I am impressed.
Yeah. Love his little purse. Love his little dicky bow. Love his little pocket watch. Love his massive chains. That is a man who loves a massive chain.
He would have worn that chain around. He would have done that.
He does look like Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin. Amanda said he looks like Alec Baldwin. I can see that. I have never seen that before, but I can see that.
Now you've said it.
Now.
Oh, yeah.
So, character. What do we think of his character?
He seemed quite nice.
I respect the fact that he was down pit, not pit, but he was
well, he probably would have been if that was where they were. Like whatever he was involved in.
Yeah, because he saw his projects through. He went through all the stages. He built that thing, didn't he, to protect the people working in the tunnels. Yeah, so they didn't get squished. Maybe he invented that because he was going to be down there with them. It's hard to say. But either way, lots of people had their lives saved. So,
Yeah.
All right.
I think it says a lot that he's doing all these designs, but he's still like sometimes at the literal coalface doing the stuff. Didn't have to be.
No.
A gambler, I think maybe, but seems to be gambling with his own money for the most part, rather than dragging other poor unfortunates in.
Pretty pick. We love a guy who's for safe tunneling.
Always be safe when you're tunneling.
Use a shield. Always,
The shield.
Use a shield when no glove, no love. So
that's very 90s.
I've never heard that, but yeah, that's good.
See, I think there's got to be some ego, some bravura, some bravado going on there that may have made him difficult to get along with.
Do you think we didn't come across anything like that though, did we?
Yeah, no, because he's hanging out with a bunch of other bloody Victorians who are also kind of arseholes.
Yeah, but they could be arseholes to each other, I suppose.
Yeah, but if he was on site, a lot of the arseholes were like high-level Victorian arseholes.
Yeah, like, Prince Albert.
A spectrum of Victorianness.
I like the fact that he followed his dad. He was inspired and followed his father, and then he inspired his own children. That seems nice.
Amazing. People are still enjoying Brunel's tunnels.
His kids must have, his son must have liked him enough to want to carry on his legacy by following in his footsteps.
Yeah.
Nothing is saying to me that he was a bit of a dick.
No.
I mean, he's probably a geek. I mean, imagine he wasn't like
fun at parties.
Yeah.
But then he might tell you about his large bore tunneling.
Yeah.
He might bring his massive chain for you to stroke.
Or
maybe if you make friends with him, he'd be like, I've got a massive bloody boat. Do you fancy a trip to New York? And he'd be like, crack on, cherub.
Yeah.
Sign me. TF up.
Yeah.
I love that vision that right, we're going to link. You're going to be able to go from London to New York. So I'm going to build a railway from London to Bristol. And then I'm going to build a ship which will take you from Bristol to New York.
Would we have? would we have Eurostar without his thinking?
We wouldn't have any tunnels underneath rivers, I don't think. Well, unless someone else had come up with it afterwards. But
getting around London has been a fuck ton easier with his like tube stuff. But okay, we're talking about his personality here rather than his achievement. So personality.
I mean, if I'm going to go for style, I mean, style is a 10.
Those mutton chops. I don't know. I haven't seen anything that marks him out as being a massive dickhead.
But normally, if someone is a massive dickhead, you know about it because people are very keen to go, he's a massive dickhead.
Yeah.
So
it's a nepo baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
we all like a bit of nepotism. Thing is, most of us would be in for a bit of nepotism if we're honest about it.
If it was affecting us positively.
He couldn't have done it without being talented.
No.
Or interested, actually.
I'm going to go 9.
I'm going to go 9. Yes.
Okay. Well,
yes, Scarlett. He's telling you all about his large bore.
Meh.
His links. I do always. I'm getting undressed. I'm so
admiring.
The
best. Yeah. Okay. So the importance of his work.
Ooh, a lot.
Yeah.
That's very, very highbrow.
9.
That was a lot.
10, I think for me. 9 again.
9.
It's not quite vaccination, but I bloody love being able to get on the tube and go to South London. It's really helpful. I don't spend a lot of time in South London because I'm an East London girl.
I've changed my mind. 8.
God, that's the theme for EastEnders. The doof doofs are famous in our nation. Doof, 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 doof. That is famed.
If you're ever feeling in your life that you're not miserable enough, watch EastEnders.
Yeah, EastEnders is TV to open an artery by. I tell you, bloody hell. Nothing goes right for these people, except that they manage to live in a fairly sought after part of London. Like they
huge houses.
They've got huge houses. Their whole families can live there. They've got a tube network. They've got a bustling pub. The streets are beautifully clean, and they all seem to be able to do it while doing what anywhere else would be a minimum wage job. I'm telling you here and now, that ain't the East London I know, but okay, you crack on, Cherub.
They've been there. When did EastEnders start?
What?
When did EastEnders, the program, actually begin?
Oh, got to be
70s. It's later than it's older than it's younger than
70s. It's I reckon.
I'm googling it.
Getting on for 40 years.
Oh,
hey
more,
Siri,
I reckon.
When did EastEnders start? 19th of February 1985. 500 years. Really, after the
a few months before my birthday.
Oh, you baby.
So there you go, 1985.
So yeah. There we go. We've
almost 40 years of abject misery.
That's what's happened. Isambard Kingdom Brunel is the reason that we have talked about the finer points of British soaps.
I'm sure he'd
You're
be.
Not my mother. Yes, I
am.
Oh yeah. Another famous cat.
Cat Slayer, babe. She is my idol. I don't own enough leopard print to be her, but one day I will be
owned that leopard print.
Leopard print and a red lip. Fierce. Love it.
Dirty Den knocking up his best mate. But then the adopted daughter goes up and ends up marrying his actual son, and then don't they have a baby? But he gets murdered because lots of people get murdered there. The murder rate is possibly worse. No, it's not quite as bad as Midsummer, is it? But it can't be that bad.
It's very close.
Every episode is about murder.
If you watch EastEnders, you will be terrified of Epping Forest because it's just literally body dump central. Just Everyone's dumping bodies in Epping Forest, apparently. What Epping Forest tourism must have done to the team behind the defenders, Lord only knows. Right.
Right.
So,
So
what
My
are the
question- can't blame Isambard in Brunel for English soap
Dirty
opera.
Bird was murdered by a bunch of flowers the first time around. The second time he was murdered, it was the dog the bust of Queen Vic in the Queen Vic.
oh yeah.
I didn't know he'd been murdered again.
Fell
Oh,
off,
wow,
fell
that's
off.
not- But isn't it true that in real life he's been to prison for murder?
That could be not blasphemy.
Apparently, I did say, isn't
True.
it true? I don't know. This is just what I heard.
I don't know. Let's not speak ill of the dead.
Oh, is he dead as well?
The actor who played him passed away, yes.
Really? When did that happen?
Ages ago. His son is in Call the Midwife. His real life son is in Call the Midwife.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty bit. How'd you get murdered twice? Well.
Well,
you fake your own death, babe. That's how it happens.
Yeah.
Well,
that's how
Debbie asks, is Isambard Kingdom Brunel the result of the Industrial Revolution, or did he accelerate it? Is it one thing or another?
He must have
been an egg, isn't it?
He couldn't have done what he did
without it.
But
also the Industrial Revolution couldn't have done what it did without him. So I think that's a circular question, Debbie. I think that he is a product of the Industrial Revolution, but equally he is a key ingredient of it too. I would argue.
Yeah.
For sure.
He was using the technology that had been created and using more. So like building the tunnels was to allow the trains to go through, the engines to go through.
Yeah.
Building the ships was to build on coal fire engines, etc. I mean,
his involvement in the Crystal Palace.
He is more important to the Industrial Revolution than the Industrial Revolution is important to itself.
Here's the thing: like the Great Exhibition and Crystal Palace, it in itself, it's not something that completely moves forward the Industrial Revolution. However, but it's certainly a product of the Industrial Revolution. But I do think the ideas and the technology that was shared at the Great Exhibition created a public fever, perhaps even an international fever, to push forward an industrial revolution. It was this, and I think particularly an industrial revolution in this country. So he's part of so many things that really put British engineering on the map.
I think it's overall a positive. I mean, I suppose there's the argument that whether the Industrial Revolution was a good or bad thing, but then we're living through a technological,
it's
revolution now, which maybe our future, what's the word I'm looking for? People in the future, though, will look back and go, wasn't all good, was it? Like, well, we knew it at the time, but we still did it.
Yeah. I mean, the
hindsight is a wonderful thing.
Well, it's all stuff is happening at the time, but yeah.
The kind of Jam and Jerusalem, the great hymn, the dark satanic mills of Jerusalem. The kind of the image of Britain is so indelibly wrapped up in this narrative. However, certainly in the fueling, the mechanism of the Industrial Revolution, the coal that needs to be mined, the factories that needed to be operated, and the human cost to that is a really high penalty. And you're still seeing stories of ex-miners who are turning up to hospital who are really sick because of the job they did. It did literally choke parts of our country. The smog. I mean, the great smog where people. The
PC boys.
My mum told me she remembers being a little girl during the great smog, and she'd come home and she'd blow her nose in the house, and just what came out of her nose was just pure black, pure black.
Mind you, I've been in London. I can tell you a difference between when you blow your nose in London and anywhere else.
Yeah,
it's black in London now. Well,
and that is because we are still so industrialized here. It's still that kind of. When I went to my midwife appointment, the CO2 that is acceptable for me to blow living in London would not be acceptable in Somerset. They'd be very concerned as to why I'm blowing the CO2 I'm blowing. So,
but what if we go specifically to what he did, he allowed for people to travel. He allowed for produce to travel, which allowed people, like, presumably, if you can get food around, that means people are less reliant on.
Yeah, but what you're also doing when you're moving food, people aren't eating seasonally. There's the expectation that they can eat strawberries all year round, and what that does is it only increases.
I mean, I'm talking within the country. I don't mean, like, I'm talking about him, what he did.
Yeah.
Like, I think I don't want to go too far out from what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he built bridges basically that could traverse massive valleys and rivers. He built tunnels that meant that you could get from A to B quicker. And he managed to put tunnels underneath waterways, which hadn't been done before, which has led to things like the tube network. So I think we got stuck on this one, haven't we? But
yeah. For legacy.
Quite high, I think, still.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go for 8 because it's...
Yes, I was thinking 8.
I'm impressed with the thought process behind it.
7.
And the determination. Cool. Okay. Right. So we can go for agency in his legacy.
Yes, for good and for bad. How part of it, how in charge of his legacy is he? Let's find out by asking our lovely people who are watching us. Talking about Isambard, did he know what he was doing? Is he planning the future? Does he know what we say? Is he happy about what we think? Does he really give a shit? Let us know what you think. Put a Y in the comments or an N. If you think he was in charge of what we say, then the letter is a Y. If you think he didn't know, then put an N instead. Tell us what you think. He does make some very good bridges. Bristol's pretty cool.
I think the Y's have it again.
Yes.
Okay.
Soundingly.
Izzy baby.
Izzy baby.
Izzy baby. Step a stable under the tree.
Shall we move on to our last candidate?
Yes. Ada.
Beautiful.
Ada. Not Linda.
Tonight.
There's another Lovelace, Linda, not her.
Yeah.
No. Story.
Not to be confused with.
Yeah.
Ada to Dada. We're doing Ada to Dada. Look at that. Look at those. She's got hair made into ear muffs.
Hair muffs.
She's got hair muffs.
She
appears to have possibly
incredible eyelashes.
The eyelashes that would make Bambi's mother not get shot in the face. She appears to have a passion fruit upon her head, surrounded by feathers. So she's killed a number of birds and she's wearing fruit. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Juicy. Princess Ada Solo is, I mean,
maybe she was the inspiration.
Stranger things have happened.
Fetch him. Find out. Weezy says, I don't understand anything about her work.
did
Same,
we?
babe. Same.
Yeah, we tried.
Not a clue. Coding, punch cards, computers, mathematics,
Vision.
differentials, mechanisms. The internet. The internet.
AI.
She has got a lovely little bum chin, doesn't she? Look at her little dimply bum chin.
Yeah.
That is a dimples. If you're a dimply dimple, you're very cute, but it means you've got a defect in your muscle. It is a birth defect, but we love you
Is
anyway.
it?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I mean,
I have a full chin.
yeah, because it's not skeletal. It's the same as the face dimple, is my understanding. Steve asks, have you found your punch cards yet? No. I'm more to get punched than find a punch card. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I start fights.
You don't, because we don't. You keep on the water nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. I've stopped getting headbutted in the face because I've stopped drinking alcohol. Good times. Good times. Still got the scar on my lip when I got headbutted in the face.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Well, not start a fight. I mean,
Look, they don't call me the honey badger for nothing.
true. True.
Just utterly fearless, no sense of self-preservation, and will normally go straight for the bollocks.
Oh, well, they probably will headbutt you if you go for the bollocks. It was like a full straight down.
It's because usually I'm fighting men, so I'm about head height. For me, is like lower torso because I like to fight a big man. I don't want to fight a little one. They fight dirty. I'm going to fight a big bloke. Right.
I hope you're all taking notes.
Character. I love the fact that her mum is like, you will be a scientist. I am going to train any of your poet father out of you. It will be like he never existed. I will wash you clean like a slate. And she's like, yeah, but this computer program can make music. So
that was quite fascinating. That it was
in love with the dad, isn't she? Really,
it's a true combination. Like it was fascinating, that bit about to articulate her vision and the possibilities of the technology. She needed that ability to weave a narrative and paint a picture in words, and she did it.
Yeah. Catherine does make a good point about her shades of the Electra complex. However, I think when your dad swans off and abandons you and then selfishly dies while you're still fairly young, it's very, very easy to hero worship him.
Yeah.
I mean,
when he's famous and he's loved.
Would go on and on about being a poor fatherless girl. And, she was sure that the Duke of Kent, her father, would be so much better than her mother and Wicked Conroy. She might have been right. But I think it's very easy to hero worship a father who fucked off and then died.
Yeah. And was hero worshipped himself.
And was here,
by others.
And sorry, the mum loved him too, though, didn't she? Even though she went out and did the off, she was like,
she was besotted.
So I didn't feel like. Sorry, go on. So in terms of her character,
I think she's really interesting. She's probably one of the people that I would that we spoke about so far that I would most like to be at dinner with.
Yeah,
because I think that kind of, I really enjoy somebody who is sciencey to a degree that it's unfathomable and incomprehensible to me, but also she's arty as fuck. So like she'd
appreciate a good sing song at the end of the night.
Yeah, like I feel like she and I could get on and understand and talk to her and understand things artistically, and maybe, just maybe, she could use that to help me understand what the rest of the fuck she's going on about that makes me feel stupid. She could talk to me like I'm 5 and full of sugar, which is kind of
the only time.
She could be a tad flighty.
I love it.
In what? So, what do you mean by that?
Well, you know, if she found something that would annoy her parents, she would flit off and do it, even if it sort of bounced back to bite her on the bum.
Kind
I
of
love
like that.
I love
It's
that. That makes
Literally
me love her
feisty.
more. That she's like that she's perhaps got a slight soups on her fizzy knickers. Like I feel that. I feel that. Like she's super bright, but she's also a bit of a fucking liability.
Yeah. It's all good while it's all good.
Yeah,
Okay,
which stayed pretty good. It stayed pretty good. Do you know what? I'm gonna go big with this one. It's a 10 for me. Ada, in terms of character, is a hard 10. I love her little muff hairs. I love them.
I love her.
I love all of her hairs.
I'm gonna go 9. Catherine?
7.
Ooh, she's going Lola.
Mm.
That's okay. You're allowed.
Thanks, Mum.
Oh, look, the dog's come to say hello. Didn't like that.
Aww.
He heard muff hairs and went, I'm in.
I'm in. Lie down. No, lie down.
So that's character.
Okay. So importance of her work.
I mean, I think probably quite a lot. I don't fucking understand it, but I like computers.
We don't know what it is.
People who like computers, like her, and people who
like having this.
code.
I like doing this.
Yeah.
Big good. So important that I cannot fucking comprehend it. And I don't know. Genuinely, I would not have been able to do the PhD study that I did without computer programs. I needed to be able to do corpus linguistic searches. My work was dependent on the technology that evolves out of her work. Today, my work continues to be dependent on technology, on microphones, computers, lights, phones. I don't know how any of this shit works, but thank fuck it does.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. Same. So I'm going to give her 10.
10.
Assuming you're going for the same. Catherine?
Yeah. I mean, Catherine might be angry because computers don't like her. But I don't think that's Ada's.
I'm making a concerted effort to make them hate me less. I am. Yes, it has got to be 10, really, hasn't it?
I bloody love computer. I know they're not perfect. We'll get onto legacy in a minute. But in terms of how important it is to my life, the stuff that she did is daily, hourly.
5-minute if you like me, won't put your phone down. So let's talk about legacy then, the positivity of her legacy.
Yeah. Calculators, good. Dark web, scary.
Yeah. Elon Musk.
To be TBC, I have concerns.
Bill Gates.
Concerns about him.
Bill Gates.
No.
No.
The internet
technology there. I mean, she's put the technology there. The fact that humans, like you said earlier, use technology to do the same shit that they would have found another way to do if that technology, like they will just always behave badly.
Yeah.
On whatever platform you can provide, whether that's physical or
these motherfuckers were sending poison pen letters before the internet existed. They've always parcels have always been existed.
Spam emails are not new.
Pretty women in technology, the sort of the power for STEM, really good.
She's a sort of
C McG. The internet is not new. The internet is a kind of neutral in that there are incredible highs and capacities, but there are also the pits of hell on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to use it for porn. Absolutely.
That's it. Printed media, porn.
Yeah.
Words, porn. Internet, porn.
I mean, she certainly didn't see the capacity, I think, for AI to maybe become sentient, which does seem to be a legitimate concern. But however, that's perhaps because she's so early. I mean, Alan Turing is definitely questioning that later on.
Interesting.
Would we have
So-
code breaking? Would we have had the Enigma machines without Ada Lovelace? Probably not, right? Would we have had space travel? Probably not, right?
I would have to understand what she was doing a bit more to know.
I would love to understand it.
Because I don't know how much of her, like, she was unique then, but we'll never know.
But I think also
who else could have come along.
And what we also don't know is we have really no concept of her legacy because we're still living through the development of her technology. We're still living through the development of this new age.
So she begins the technological age.
Yeah, arguably. And as we actually don't know what the legacy of that really is, like psychologically, the future world. It's really hard. But I don't think for me it can't be a 10 because what I'm seeing already, there are, I think, concerns in that. Not her fault.
Yeah.
But wired into the tech. But the benefits are so extreme for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But is it that thing where the benefits are massive now, but in the end you can go full circle and it's entirely destructive?
I'm actually going to go the same as for Isambard because I'm going to go 8 because for all the good, like you could, for the Industrial Revolution, we've got it's starting to get a bad reputation. But for everyone who, we don't know how people felt at that. We know injuries were high. We know disease was high. We don't know I don't know how to compare that to what was there before, whether people had work, whether people had food, what diseases they were suffering from and injuries they were suffering from farming the land. So I don't have the context. So I feel like with the technological revolution that kicked off with Ada's vision, that it's sort of similar in that we've all embraced it, and yet we all know and we're enthusiastic for it, and we also recognize the downsides to it and the dangers and the damage that it does. So
we're still consuming it with abandon.
Yeah.
Wild abandon,
can we? And we're still putting it, and many of us are still freely putting it in the hands of our children. So we can't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
kidding ourselves. It's the future, so it's fine to do it.
I wouldn't put my son underneath a spinning jenny. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be like, look at the railway lines, go play. But I would. I have shown him things on a phone. He enjoys videos of animals being cute. He particularly likes red pandas when they do this. When they put a little hand
Look how big and scary I am.
The internet's for cat videos and porn, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
I wonder if my work sits in that, but okay. Bit of column B.
Well, cat, so I think we can
cat videos, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm gonna also what are you gonna do, Catherine? You go.
I keep changing my mind.
Yeah, I'm flipping between two. Pick one.
That's all right. I've got all night.
See now, good. You see, because I'm thinking like at the moment it's about a 9, but unfortunately, a few years from now, I can see it being about 6.
Right, so go and pick a number.
You can't really go on what it. You don't know.
You can't future-proof it because you don't know.
I know, but you can't. But you can also, if you can see where it's like the potential. Because
but we don't know. 7. All right. Okay. God, that took a while. Okay.
I'm gonna go 8. Okay. If you got 8, Catherine, I would have gone 7. So there you go.
Okay, fine. Okay, right.
Again, it's all worked out for the best.
Right. So, without further ado, it's about her agency over this.
Oh Lord.
Let's ask about Ada. Is she an agent of her own legacy, or was it all a guess? Let us know. Pass the test. Yes or no? Put it in the comments down below. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ada. Ada, we think you're really cool. Ada, you probably were a bit of a problem. Ada, look at your lovely hair. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Boom, boom.
Ta-da!
Oh, lost my ability to count then. Yeses have it again, don't they?
Well, we've got agency all over the shop here this evening.
Yeah. We're actually very
covered
high scoring this evening.
in a milky soup of agency. That's what's happened. Amanda, do we think she was a Timmy? I don't think she was a dobber. I think she just was. I think she was a literal and figurative button pusher. I can see her being told not to do something because it was dangerous and going, this thing. Don't touch this. Not touching, can't get angry. Not touching, can't. She's one of those. And for that, I love her with my whole heart because I'm also one of those. I'm not touching, can't get angry. Not touching, can't get angry. I'm that human. I'm that motherfucker.
That's
I love it. My whole heart. I love it.
Right. Do you want to? I'm not doing this
Oh
live.
my god! I just see Maria's comment. Still over the fact that I googled OnlyFans on her phone while in public before I could give you a warning, babe.
I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been worse.
Could it?
Yeah.
I've not googled OnlyFans. Tell us, Catherine, what comes up when you Google it?
Well, surely just a description of the website.
Oh, is it?
I don't know, but there's only one way to find out.
I don't believe that you don't know. No feet for
I'm going to look now. I'm going to look. I am.
Oh my god! I'm going to actually Google it.
There we go. Now you're on the list. Steve says she's a brilliant thinker who nobody knows for 50 years. I certainly still fucking don't. So correct.
So what do you mean 50 years?
I am baffled.
Okay. So
right.
What you're saying, Dr. Cat, is that you're petty. I am petty, but I'm also fucking irritating. Like, I love it. I just love to be like, and I get in one of those moods where I'm like, let's be silly. And by silly, I mean, let me see how I can wind somebody up.
She just likes getting into fights.
That's yeah. Okay, here we go.
I can't deny it. I can't deny it.
OnlyFans. I googled what is OnlyFans. OnlyFans is an internet content subscription service based in London, United Kingdom. The service is used primarily by sex workers who produce pornography, but it also hosts the work of other content creators such as physical fitness experts and musicians. OnlyFans company type. So now you know, and I'm not dodgy.
Did I poke anthills with a stick as a child? No, I was never. Because I've always had very strong boundaries about only picking on animals that could pick on me back. So humans, basically. I am a fuck around and find out kind of person. I'm like, let's see what happens if I just. I'm short. I'm like a terrier, right? So I'm like, I'm going to worry you a bit. I'm going to irritate you just to see. Do you still love me? Do you want to smack me? Bit of both. We can work with that. We can work with it.
Just like to say, the headline underneath that, what is OnlyFans? What parents need to know? I mean, no, it's what parents need to know.
Let's root away from that. That's not the one.
No, jeez Louise.
So where are we in our scores with doors?
Right, I'm not doing this live because I don't have I haven't. So our scores for today, and you can fit these in. You can see if we can do it as we go. So do you want them in order that we did them?
I don't mind.
Okay, so Isaac Newton has scored a whacking 87, putting him in third place.
Third.
But Edward Jenner actually has bumped everyone down a spot because he has gone in at number 1 with 94 points.
Blimey.
Oh, Alfred.
I know, poor Alfred. And he's great. So IKB also has 87, so he'll now be joint whatever that was, 4th and 5th.
Joint 4th.
And Ada
Yeah.
is going to beat both of them because she's come in with 89. So that will put her 3rd, actually. So that will put them, whatever. Anyway, I'll work it out. But yeah, so
4th, 5th, 5th. Okay.
Well.
Yeah, because they've all been knocked down one by.
The list now looks like Jenna, Alfred, William, Ada, Izzy, joint,
Izzy and IK together. Then capability.
Yeah, Scarlett, Ada is pretty high up, and what she did was amazing. But I think it's right that the person who plays such a massive part in eradicating smallpox, I'm happy with them being at the tippy top of the listy. Personally, I'm very comfortable with that.
I think that's cool.
I think it's also very good that they have picked Alfred the Great to the top spot, because frankly, I don't think I want a monarch on the top of the list of heroes.
Interesting.
I'm feeling Republican currently, not in a Trump way, but I'm feeling
in a hero's way.
In a hero's, there are things we can do.
Yeah. Right. Okay. There you go.
Great in the comments.
Love it.
Yay.
Kathleen. King of the Grapes.
King of the Grapes. Alfred the Great.
I'm just looking what we're doing next time. I already know, actually. I already know.
Elf. Oh, sorry. I missed my cue. Philippa, what's happening next week?
Next week, we are going back in time because we've been actually quite fairly recent, haven't we? This time we're going back and we are looking at Sir or Saint Thomas More next week. And then it all gets thrown out and stuff. I'm not sure what's happening after that because we have holidays and all sorts of shit going on.
Yes.
So. But next, pretty big. Oh, that's brilliant. The horse and the grape. Oh, the donkey and grapes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there we
brilliant.
Go. There we go.
That's perfect. Yes. So Thomas More next week.
Like a bit of Thomas More.
Very interesting character.
Yeah. How many angry Ricardians do you think we'll get?
Oh, do they not? Oh, what? Because he wrote about the prince.
He's
not many. They steer clear of us.
I think they do steer clear of us. Yeah.
The crime that Thomas More committed was, of course, he mentioned Richard III in not fully glowing, arse-licking terms. He is not just constantly chowing down on his boot. Thus, he is Satan for them.
Scarlet. All of them.
All of them.
Feed us your Ricardian tears.
Should we make some cups just with Ricardian tears? Delicious. Then we'll put a boar's head on it, and we'll do just nom Ricardian
the ball
tears
with the big balls. The one that I found. Where did I find that?
Oh yeah,
the big balls. Yeah,
the testicled boar.
Like that thing couldn't walk properly. I'm sure if that was real. It's ridiculous. Like 2 balloons come out his backside.
If boars had OnlyFans.
Yes, maybe he did. Maybe he started it. Yeah. Crying boar.
If you like what you see, pals, then you can make sure that you have liked this video. Please do subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon. Allegedly, YouTube then tells you when we're next going live. It doesn't always, but try, it might. And additionally, if you think your pals might like it, if you're here, you have at least one other deviant in your life. You can't tell me you don't. There's some other filth merchant, because that's how we cope, people like us. So tell them about us. Share the filth. Do it. Bring them in. And maybe not if you work with them. That might be a reason to get in front of HR. No one's got time for that. You can also tell us you enjoy our stuff by supporting us by buying Winnebagos. You can buy Winnebagos over on Buy Me a Coffee. That is at www.buymeacoffee.com/had podcast. That's also the place you go if you want to sign up to our close friends over on the Instagram. That is the place where usually Catherine finds some absolutely unhinged memes, so unhinged that we don't feel comfortable sharing it to our regular Instagram. So she puts it up for our close friends, so you can see
actually we can probably share a couple of photos from our Stratford trip on our close friends. Actually,
we
You
can
actually took some. Only about 2. But
yeah, we were busy basically yakking the whole weekend. So.
And eating.
Oh, we ate so much
food, and we had a lovely time. What else? We have merch. Philippa is modelling currently a History After Dark.
The classic.
This is a classic. Oh no, this is an updated one.
The Ibbotson version. This is 2.0. This is the Ibbotson iteration. We have got Timmy's a Problem merch. We have got. I don't think Catherine's got her Rough Beaver out.
I don't have my Rough Beaver out.
You can come and check out Catherine's Rough Beaver on OnlyFans. No, sorry, over on our merch. You also have no fee for free on the internet sliders. All sorts of fun, and perhaps we will get spicy enough to make a Ricardian Tears mug. Watch this space. If you want it, let us know. Any more? Substack.
Yes,
it might happen on there one day.
Yeah, I know. It will.
Although we did talk about something very exciting over the weekend, didn't we?
So following our Substack might be the place to go.
They're both going. Did we?
Oh
no,
yes.
I don't know who you're talking about. Because if/when we
it was so exciting.
Get some dates in the diary. This very exciting thing. It will be announced on the Subby Stack. So that is History After Dark Hub at Substack. So come and find us.
Yeah.
More? There's one more thing. Is there? No, lies. We're on TikTok too. We don't post a lot. Well, we might. So, thanks, pals.
Lovely spending the evening with you.
It's been fun. See you all next week. Be
See
good.
you go.
Good. Be careful. And if you can't be careful, don't get caught. We are going to leave you all, lovelies, in 3, 2, 1. Good boot.
Bye.